Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be learning about translations. So we are going to start with this warm-up. I want you guys to find the distance between these 2 points. When you get your answer, please type it into the question bar. Okay, so hopefully we were all able to get that correct. Like I said, we are working on translations, which is basically sliding a figure from one place to another, okay? So we're going to be working with figures in the coordinate plane, and we're going to be writing rules and determining if rules match what is called a pre-image and an image. Okay, in the slideshow that I'm attaching to Google Classroom, there will be a video in there if you feel like you need a little bit more practice that you can access later on. Okay, but this is the main thing that you need to probably write into your notes, and this is the rules for translations. Okay, so if it is going to go right so many units, you're going to be adding it to the X value. If it's going left so many units, you're going to be subtracting it from the X value. If you are going to be going up, you are going to be adding to the Y value, and down is subtracting from the Y value. So if you think about it, that's kind of how our X and Y's work anyway. Adding goes to the positive side, negative is the subtracting, adding goes up for Y, subtracting goes to the negative. Okay, so this is definitely something you want to have in your notes as we're starting to write rules. Okay, the other thing you need to understand is what is the image versus the pre-image. The pre-image is the figure that it starts as, okay? It is the figure given to you, and then after they give you a rule, the image is the second figure, okay? So you're going to start hearing those words a lot in the next couple of weeks. So image is the second figure. It's how it's been moved. Pre-image is where it starts at. Okay, so we're going to start off by something simple. How do you use the rule? Okay, so you can see that we have a triangle in the coordinate plane, and that is telling us to move this 3 units down. So moving this 3 units down, I'm going to go over here to my Elmo so that you guys can see what we're doing. So basically that means every single point has to be moved down 3. So if this is the starting point for you, 1, 2, 3 is the new starting point for you. And you put this little hash mark here to recognize that it's the new image. Okay, the same thing for Q. We're going to move down 1, 2, 3. And again, this is our second image. And for L, we're going to move down 1, 2, 3. So now we would just draw our new figure. And this is now our image from our pre-image using the rule of translating 3 units down. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how you write the rule. Okay, so we're going to find our figure first, and then we're going to use that guideline that I gave you guys that has how you write rules at the beginning of this slideshow. Okay, so first of all, we are going 5 units to the right. Okay, so I'm going to actually pull up my other screen again so that we can work through this. So we are going 5 units to the right, which is an X direction, and 5 units to the right mean that we are going to be taking our X value and adding 5. It's also telling us that we are going 2 units up, and up would be our Y value, and so this means we are going to go Y plus 2. So we would say that our formula is this. That we are taking our pre-image and now we're translating it to this new place. Okay? So that means that we're going to do that with each of these points. So X is going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, and now this is my new X value. Okay, we're going to do that with E. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and now we have E. And I can't see this, so how about we call this T? Okay, so we're going to move over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, and this is going to be T. And so now this is our new image based on our pre-image. We slid it over 5, we slid it up 2. Okay, so now we're going to work on one together, and I want you guys to do this along with me. Okay, so the whole point of this is not just to watch me do this, but you should be working along with me so you know what you're doing. So we are starting with 1 unit to the left. And again, I'm going to pull up my other screen so that you can see this. So 1 unit to the left. Left is X, and moving to the left is a negative. So we're moving 1, subtracting direction. And again, this one gives us 2 units up, just like that last one. So Y is going up 2. So if we write our rule, it says that we are taking our pre-image and turning it into our new image. And sometimes they have an arrow here as well that you might see. Okay, so here is our rule. This is the rule. So if it ever asks you to write a rule, this is what it's asking for. Okay, and so now we're going to do this on our graph. So we're going to move over 1, up 2. This is my new Y value. Over 1, up 2 is my new M value. Over 1, up 2 is my new G value. And now I have my image from my pre-image. Okay, so now I'm going to have you do a little bit of practice on your own using these 6 problems, and you see the answers are on the right-hand side of the screen. I want you to actually be able to answer them matching the rule to what it's asking and vice versa, okay, the direction to the rule. Okay, so take a couple of minutes to pause this video and work through it so that you can make sure you're understanding the rule. Okay, so hopefully you guys did good on that. Now we're going to look at a pre-image and an image and see if we can look at the graph and find out what the rule is. And again, we're going to be looking for what's happening in our X and our Y direction in order to be able to get there. And this is where you need to remember that the letters that don't have the hash mark is where you started. Where you ended is the one, the prime one. That's what it's called. It's called a prime. Okay, so let me pull up my other screen, and we are going to be looking at this one right here. Okay, so if you find the rule for one point, you're going to find it for all of them. It doesn't do something different for each point. So you really just need to focus on one point. So I am going to focus on M. Okay, so if I look here at M, there's M. I need to figure out how it's going to get over here to this one. Okay, so obviously it's going to do some sort of an X movement and a Y movement, and we need to figure that part out. So I'm going to start with X first. I am going to figure out how did it shift over here. So it shifted over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay, if you can see that, it shifted all this direction. Let me go back to the highlighter. So shifted all this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's in the positive direction. So that means that it is X plus 6. So now, how did it shift? Well, it went this direction now, up, and it went up 2, so y plus 2. So that is my rule for this graph. Okay? I added 6 to y, I added 2, or to x, sorry, and I added 2 to y. Okay, so we're going to try it again with a different one. Okay, again, the number that does not have the prime sign, or the letter that does not have the prime sign is the original graph. So in this case, it's the red graph. The blue graph is the translated graph, so that's the one we're trying to find. So I'm going to pop up my other screen here really fast. So again, I am only going to focus on A. Okay, I don't need to focus on all the points. The rule is going to be the same. I do know that at some point I did something to my x and something to my y, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so obviously I moved this direction, okay? And that direction is going in the negative, so that means I'm subtracting. So I'm subtracting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from my x. And now I'm going up. So how many times did I go up? I went up 1, 2, 3. So I am getting the rule of x subtract 5, y plus 3, and now I have my new translated figure. Okay, so now it's time for you guys to practice. You are looking for the rule, okay? And you are looking for how the blue figure came to the red figure. So pause your video, find the rule, and plug it into the equation question that you're going to get next. Okay, so now that we've done what we can for translations, you guys are going to do a little bit of practice. There is a 10-question quizzes assigned for you. Again, remember 70% in order for it to count. You can try it more than one time. Please make sure you're writing stuff down so you don't make small little errors. Okay, so this is what you are going to be working on now that you're done with notes. Please reach out to me if you have any questions at all and need some help.